Taoiseach, the difficulty with dealing with all of these ongoing controversies in the administration of justice is that every day brings a new revelation, like the tipping of prisoners' phone calls and the latest twist last night in the penalty points debacle. But there are other distractions. While I have no confidence in Minister Shatter, I found it nauseating to listen here to former Fianna Fáil Minister Willie O'Dea last night pontificating in a highly vindictive...
Sorry, please.
In a highly vindictive, personalised and inappropriate way about Minister Shatter, because Fianna Fáil knows as well as everyone else that this phone tapping happened on their watch. And these justice issues go back...
Please. Sorry.
These justice issues, Concordia, go back for decades and involve governments made up of Fianna Fáil, of Labour, of Fine Gael, the Progressive Democrats and Democratic Left. So the Oireachtas should keep a focus on what this is really all about. And yesterday I made the point...
Sorry, would you stay quiet, please? Thanks.
I made the point yesterday, and you agreed with me, Taoiseach, that the Ian Bailey case is at the root of these problems. And this has arisen from the investigation into the murder of Sophie Toscan de Plantier. Now, Ian Bailey's solicitor wrote in 2012 3 times to Minister Shatter about the Garda Commissioner's refusal to provide information to the Garda Ombudsman. Now, incompetence to one side, this refusal, repeated many times, is at the root and the real reason for the lack of cohesion in the government's response to these scandals. And yesterday's report by the Secretary-General of the Justice Department confirms this. He says department officials, and I quote, were so preoccupied with possible ramifications about taped calls at Bandon Garda Station that they may not have realised the gravity of more widespread taping of phone calls over decades.
Thank you.
Now, yesterday I asked if the Minister would, in the PMB last night, clarify his position. And Padraig McLaughlin, our Justice spokesperson, put the same question directly to the Minister. He refused to do that last night. So is it not the case that alleged corrupt activities by Gardaí in the Sophie Toscan de Plantier murder investigation should have been the subject of a commission of investigation? And will the government now initiate such a commission, or will you commit here today to make it part of the commission of investigation that you're setting up?
Taoiseach.
Well, you did raise this case yesterday, the Bailey case arising from the murder of Mr. de Plantier. And clearly, Deputy Adams, it's been going on now for quite a number of years. And as I said to you yesterday, the issue became crystallised because of the end of the discovery process, which required a Garda affidavit to send the material to the legal team representing Mr. Bailey. And quite clearly from the Secretary-General's report, the issue of the tapes that became known and to officials, clearly when they were transcribed and assessed, that the material in there is very serious indeed. Now, those tapes are part of the discovery process, and this is a case that is before the courts, and I don't want to say anything here that would prejudice the outcome of that case in any way. But clearly the material that has been transcribed and assessed, and which will more than likely enter the public domain, is very stark, I have to say. Those tapes, Deputy Adams, are part of the discovery process, being sent to the legal team to be part of the case before the courts. The government yesterday, at its meeting, in approving the appointment of Justice Fennelly, made a number of recommendations that will have to be concluded in the terms of reference for the Commission in consultation with the Justice. But clearly we need to be able to have as part of that the process, the background, the context, the reasons, the authorisation, the use, the retention, legality, illegality or whatever of tape recordings where matters of public concern are involved. This is a matter of public concern. This is a matter of grave public concern, and it needs to be dealt with. So it's in two parts, if you like, Deputy Adams. There is the immediate focus on the specific case, and there is the wider implication for the trial, which produced evidence of systematic recording of conversations in Garda stations and their retention, which, as the Commissioner for Data Protection pointed out, have to be subject to a protocol before they could be destroyed, if that were to be the case. And as you're aware, the Attorney General made an order that no tapes be destroyed. I think that's in the public interest as well.
Deputy Adams.
Well, Taoiseach, your answer is very disappointing, because I'm not clear whether you are going to include these matters in the Commission of Investigation or whether you're going to set up a separate one. You know, and by your own words, you're saying these are highly significant, highly serious. Stark was the word you used. Matters. In the lead-in to the Morris Tribunal, Alan Shotter quite rightly tabled a motion here for the required public inquiry into allegations of misconduct by some Gardaí in County Donegal. And he expressed disappointment when the Fianna Fáil Justice Minister said he was going to appoint a lawyer instead to examine all the relevant papers. And at the time of the Morris report, Minister Shotter said, and I quote, "These matters should not have been left festering. The Minister for Justice, Fianna Fáil, kicked essentially to touch." And then he went on to say, "A banana republic would not deal with an issue as serious as this in this manner." So I rest my case. A banana republic would not deal with an issue as serious as this in such a manner, says Alan Shotter. He's now the Justice Minister. The Morris Tribunal uncovered alarming illegalities, corruption, cover-up by some elements of the Garda, which do not reflect on the vast majority of members of that service. And Justice Morris was also very, very clear that the combination of corruption uncovered in Donegal could easily occur elsewhere. He made that very, very clear.
Thank you.
And in the Bailey case, it could even be worse, because these aren't local or regional issues. These go right to the top of the justice system of the Gardaí and the Justice Minister, and that's a matter of public record. So again, Taoiseach, I ask you to be clear in your answer, that either you will include these matters in the Commission of Investigation, or you will set up, as Minister Shotter, when he was Fine Gael spokesperson, argued for in the build-up to the Morris Tribunal, for an appropriate inquiry, and that means a Commission of Investigation.
Taoiseach.
You see, Deputy Adams, yesterday at the Cabinet meeting, when the information was brought to the attention of the Minister for Justice, he informed his Cabinet colleagues in respect of the recordings of prisoners. I heard Mr Donlan speak clearly this morning on that matter. The Minister brought that and published immediately the information that we have, and it will be the subject of further discussions here. Now, the terms of reference for the Commission of Investigation have to be agreed and concluded with the eminent justice. I think that's important. They have to be brought here to the Dáil to be approved by the Dáil. Now, I'd make this point to you, Deputy Adams, and I know you understand it. This matter was brought to my attention on Sunday evening, and within 48 hours we had moved to make a decision to have a Commission of Investigation. Within 48 hours. When the current Minister for Justice, Deputy Shatter, raised the case in Donegal He spent two years raising that matter before Minister O'Donoghue agreed at the end of the day that there should be an investigation. 2 years. So now we're being criticised for acting swiftly and decisively in putting in together a commission of investigation. You're criticising us now. You're criticising us now because we actually go and do something about it, when this crowd over here, year after year after year, let it pass by, swept it under the carpet and did nothing. As far as I'm concerned, the Government Deputy Adams will bring the terms of reference here for discussion and approval by Dáil Éireann. If it's appropriate in the context of what we've already decided, that the terms of reference include tape recording of conversations between Garda and the public, prisoners and so on. These are matters that government will decide on with the justice involved and approval by the Dáil. So I don't want to preempt that, except to say to you that the banned tapes are covered by the discovery process. I'm informed by the Attorney General that the Garda affidavit has been sworn and signed off on, and that material will be going to the legal team involved.
Thank you.
But you know, Deputy Adams, when you come in here and say like that we shouldn't act decisively and have a commission of investigation set up within 48 hours to deal with a matter of fundamental gravity for our state. A woman was murdered
for just a few more
seconds. There is a court case. There are tapes there that are very stark in their remarks about this matter. I believe that at the end of the day, all we can do is to do what we believe is right. And what I believe is right here is to have a commission of investigation, to have proper terms of reference, to have all of these matters investigated by an eminent Supreme Court justice to deal with that matter, and that separately from that we move to having an independent authority for Garda Síochána na hÉireann. It's gone on for too long now, Deputy Adams, and we have to put in place a structure that stands up to this country's needs for the future, and that's what we intend to do.